A new day dawned over the peaceful village. As the golden sun rose above the trees, Adanma woke up early with hope in her heart. She finished her morning chores and carried a basket of fresh vegetables toward the village market. Along the dusty path, she smiled as she remembered the elderly woman she had helped the previous day. Little did Adanma know that her kindness had already set her on a journey that would change her life forever. At the village market, Adanma was surprised to see the elderly woman she had helped the previous day. The old woman smiled and said, "My child, many people saw my old clothes and ignored me. But you chose to help me. Never judge people by what they wear. A kind heart is more valuable than riches." Adanma smiled and replied, "I only did what was right." The old woman nodded and said, "I have a son named Esamchukwu. I pray he meets someone with a kind heart like yours." As she walked away, Adanma smiled, unaware that this meeting would change her life forever. The next morning, Adanma woke up with hope in her heart. She remembered the kind words of the elderly woman and couldn't stop wondering why their meeting felt so special. As she walked through the village, she noticed a luxurious black car parked near the market. Curious villagers gathered around, whispering among themselves. Adanma quietly continued on her way, not knowing that the person who had arrived was searching for the kind-hearted girl who had helped without expecting anything in return. Her life was about to change in a way she never imagined. The luxury car came to a stop in the middle of the village. A well-dressed young man stepped out and politely asked the villagers, "I'm looking for a kind young woman named Adanma. Does anyone know where I can find her?" The villagers looked at one another in surprise. Some pointed toward the market, while others whispered, wondering why such an important visitor was searching for an ordinary village girl. Unaware of what was happening, Adanma continued her work, never imagining that someone had come all this way just to find her. As Adanma walked out of the market with her basket, the well-dressed young man noticed her. He smiled politely and walked toward her. "Are you Adanma?" he asked. She looked surprised and nodded. "I've been searching everywhere for you," he said. "Someone very special told me about your kindness. They asked me to bring you to meet them." The villagers watched in amazement as Adanma stood speechless, wondering what would happen next. Esamchukwu smiled warmly and said, "Adanma, the elderly woman you helped has been looking for you. She asked me to bring you to meet her." Adanma was surprised. She looked at him for a moment before speaking softly. "I would love to go," she said, "but I can't leave without telling my mother first." Esamchukwu nodded with a smile. "Of course," he replied. "Take your time, I'll wait here for you." Adanma thanked him and hurried home, eager to tell her mother about the unexpected invitation. Adanma rushed into the house, her heart beating with excitement. "Mother," she said, "the elderly woman I helped at the market sent a young man to bring me to see her." Her mother listened carefully and smiled. "My daughter," she said gently, "your kindness has brought you this opportunity. Go with faith, be respectful, and always remember the values that have guided you." Adanma's eyes filled with tears as she hugged her mother tightly. After saying goodbye, she picked up her small bag and walked back toward the waiting SUV, ready to begin a journey that could change her life forever. Adanma returned to where Esamchukwu was waiting beside the black SUV. She smiled and said, "My mother has given me her blessing. I'm ready." Esamchukwu opened the car door for her, and Adanma climbed in. As the SUV drove away, she looked through the window, watching her village disappear into the distance. After a long journey, they arrived at a magnificent mansion surrounded by beautiful gardens and tall gates. Adanma stepped out slowly, amazed by the size and beauty of the place. She took a deep breath, unaware that the next few moments would change her life forever. She walked slowly into the magnificent mansion, her eyes filled with wonder as she admired the beautiful surroundings. Suddenly, she heard a familiar voice. "My dear child." She turned around in surprise. Standing before her was the elderly woman she had helped at the village market. The woman smiled warmly, walked toward Adanma, and gently held both of her hands. "I've been waiting to see you again," she said. "Your kindness touched my heart, and I will never forget what you did for me." Adanma smiled with tears of joy as she realized that one act of kindness had changed her life forever. The elderly woman smiled warmly and looked into Adanma's eyes. "My dear child," she said, "do you know who brought you here?" Adanma gently shook her head. The woman turned toward the handsome young man standing nearby. "This is my son, Asamchukwu." Adanma gasped in surprise. The elderly woman continued. "The day you helped me at the market, you expected nothing in return. Your kindness showed me the beauty of your heart." Asamchukwu smiled at Adanma with admiration. Just then the elderly woman took a deep breath and said, "There is something very important I want to ask you." Adanma's heart began to race as everyone fell silent. Follow for part 3 to find out what happens next.